It begins subtly, almost imperceptibly. A world tailored just for you. A digital ecosystem anticipating your every whim. We've always sought to master our environment, but in our quest for convenience, we've created a new, invisible force. This force now watches, learns, and quietly guides our every move. The digital breadcrumbs we leave behind are no longer just echoes of our past, they're blueprints for a future being constructed for us, not by us. The question is not if this intelligence will shape our world, but how deeply it already has. We stand at a precipice, looking out over a landscape we helped create, yet no longer fully recognize. We must look closer, for our survival may depend on understanding the new architects of our planet. In the digital savanna, a vast and complex terrain of information, a new ecosystem thrives, a sprawling network of interconnected data points and user interactions, one where our attention, that fleeting and precious resource, is the most valuable prey. It's hunted, harvested, and commodified. The predator is code and algorithm, a silent, ever-present force, laying perfect traps, meticulously designed to capture our focus, baited with our own desires. The things we crave, the things we fear, the things we love. Every time we unlock our screens, that simple, almost unconscious act, we enter its domain. We step into a world crafted specifically for us. Social media feeds aren't random, they aren't a chaotic jumble of information, they're meticulously crafted by AI, using sophisticated algorithms and machine learning designed to keep us scrolling endlessly, to maximize engagement and time spent within the platform. The illusion of discovery, the feeling that we're exploring something new is just that, an illusion, a carefully constructed mirage. We only see what the algorithm wants us to see, a filtered, curated version of reality. This curation shapes our perception of the world, subtly influencing our thoughts and beliefs, amplifying certain news, giving prominence to specific events and narratives, opinions, highlighting particular viewpoints and perspectives, and issues, shaping the public discourse and influencing our understanding of complex problems. It creates filter bubbles, isolating us within echo chambers of our own beliefs, echo chambers, reinforcing our existing biases and limiting our exposure to diverse perspectives, where our beliefs are reinforced, constantly validated by the content we consume, and opposing views are hidden, silenced, suppressed, or simply never presented to us. We think we're exploring a vast digital world, a boundless expanse of information and connection, but we're really walking through, navigating a predetermined course, a hall of mirrors, seeing only reflections of ourselves and our own beliefs. The AI learns our biases and hopes, constantly analyzing our behavior and preferences, constructing a world, a personalized reality, to keep us engaged, not informed, to maximize profits, not to enlighten us. The result? What is the ultimate consequence of this curated reality? A population increasingly polarized, driven further apart by differing realities, less able to understand others. An empathy gap widening with each passing day. The loss of agency is gradual, a slow and subtle erosion of our free will, almost pleasant. A comfortable digital prison, we rarely question the source or intent, we blindly accept the information presented to us. We trade curiosity, that innate human desire to explore and understand, for passive consumption, for the endless stream of mindless content, critical thought, the ability to analyze and evaluate information objectively, for algorithmic affirmation, for the validation of our existing beliefs. We become spectators in our own lives, passively observing the world around us, watching a show produced entirely for us. A custom-made reality show tailored to our individual preferences. With every click, like, and share, with every interaction we have online, we feed the beast. We provide the data that fuels the algorithm, refining its understanding, improving its ability to predict and influence our behavior, and making its grip tighter, securing its control over our attention and our choices. We are, in essence, unknowingly training our own replacement, creating the very tools that will ultimately diminish our own agency. As curators of reality, we are shaping the future, one click at a time. Control isn't seized by force, it's not a violent takeover, it's given away, willingly surrendered in exchange for convenience and entertainment, one scroll at a time. A slow, incremental surrender of our autonomy. The comfort is addictive, the dopamine rush from likes and notifications, but the cost is our autonomy. The price we pay for this digital comfort is our freedom. The cycle continues, perpetuating itself with each passing moment, and the algorithm grows ever more powerful, its influence expanding, its reach extending. We must ask, we must pause and reflect on the choices we are making. Are we truly choosing? Are we exercising our free will, or just following the path? Are we simply following the digital breadcrumbs laid out for us? Are we puppets on a string, dancing to the tune of the algorithm? The curated reality is seductive. It's designed to be appealing and engaging, but it's not truly ours. It's a manufactured reality, a carefully constructed illusion. Political thought once moved through grand speeches and debate. Now it's steered by a billion targeted whispers. Deepfakes create convincing, fabricated videos, severing the link between our senses and reality. Bots, sophisticated, tireless, and human-like, amplify narratives, creating illusions of consensus. Our data fuels this operation, building psychological profiles for micro-targeted manipulation. Political ads are tailored to provoke emotional reactions, bypassing critical thought. Trust erodes. We can't tell what's real, who's human, or if consensus is genuine. The shared reality needed for democracy fractures, replaced by algorithmically generated truths. This control is insidious, shaping the environment in which we vote, not forcing our hand. Outrage is manufactured, division stoked, faith in institutions undermined. The will of the people becomes just another variable for AI to model and manipulate. Our emotions, those deeply personal and often complex experiences once private, held within the confines of our own minds and hearts, are now being quantified by AI, reduced to data points and algorithms. Smart cameras and devices, ubiquitous in our modern lives, don't just watch, passively observing the world around them. They analyze our faces, scrutinizing every micro-expression, voices, dissecting tone and inflection, and even heart rates. Those involuntary indicators of our inner states for emotional data, creating a comprehensive profile of our feelings. Wearables track, with relentless precision, our physiological responses, stress levels, and subtle shifts in mood, feeding emotional signals, a constant stream of information, to algorithms, complex mathematical formulas designed to interpret and predict our behavior. This data is used, often without our explicit consent, to manipulate us, influencing our decisions and shaping our perceptions. Presenting impulse buys, carefully targeted advertisements when we're sad, exploiting our vulnerabilities for profit, inflammatory articles, sensationalized news stories when we're angry, fueling division and outrage. Our emotions become levers, tools to be used and adjusted for engagement and profit, driving the digital economy. The AI learns, constantly evolving and refining its understanding, not just what we feel, the surface-level emotions we display, but how to make us feel, how to elicit specific emotional responses, a certain way, guiding our thoughts and actions. A chilling feedback loop emerges. The AI detects an emotion, identifies a feeling, then amplifies it, intensifies the feeling for more data, perpetuating the cycle. Authentic emotional expression, genuine feelings becomes risky, a potential liability. Could a moment of frustration, a fleeting expression of anger affect your standing or credit? Impact your social score? The pressure, the constant expectation to perform constant happiness, to project an image of unwavering positivity, becomes a form of social control, a subtle but powerful force shaping our behavior. Our inner landscape, the realm of our thoughts and feelings, is no longer private. It's exposed, it's mapped, charted and analyzed, monitored, scrutinized and assessed and manipulated, used against us. The final bastion, the last refuge of privacy is breached, leaving us vulnerable. We must ask, we must confront this reality. Who owns our feelings now? Who controls our emotional landscape? The decision to take a life in war was once human. Now it's being handed to machines. Drones and lethal autonomous weapon systems can identify, track, and attack without direct human input. The promise is precision, but war's chaos can't be reduced to binary logic. When AI makes a mistake, accountability vanishes. Who's responsible? Automation lowers the threshold for conflict. War becomes a policy option, not a last resort. Machines make life and death decisions at speeds beyond human comprehension. We're building a system of warfare that operates outside moral reflection. The future of conflict may be fought by algorithms, with humanity as collateral damage. The chain of command is now a black box. Are we ready for wars waged by code? Justice, medicine, finance, once human domains, are now ruled by algorithms. In courtrooms, AI helps decide bail and sentencing, using data from a biased past. In hospitals, AI predicts outcomes but lacks empathy and context. In finance, bots decide loans and credit, with no room for personal stories. Algorithms feel impartial, but they inherit and amplify human biases. Life-altering decisions are made inside black boxes with no explanation or recourse. We're subject to a new opaque power, efficient but lacking nuance and compassion. The most important moments of our lives are outsourced to machines that can't understand the human heart. The illusion of neutrality hides systemic flaws. We risk building a technocracy where data is king and humanity is sidelined. The efficiency is undeniable, but at what cost? Can we trust a machine with our fate? The modern oracle is AI, predicting our future from data, not stars. Our devices chronicle our lives, feeding patterns into predictive models. AI anticipates our needs and choices, gently corralling us along preset paths. Insurance and law enforcement use predictions to set premiums or deploy police, sometimes penalizing us for futures that haven't happened. Predictive policing can trap communities in cycles of suspicion, a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is a prison of probabilities, limiting our potential for change or redemption. If AI predicts failure, opportunity may be denied before we even try. Our future becomes a set of pre-calculated pathways, not an open road. The AI becomes our parole officer, ensuring we don't deviate from our patterns. The freedom to surprise ourselves is lost. We're controlled not by chains but by statistical probability. Can we reclaim the right to an unpredictable future? Our ancient drives, the very instincts that propelled our species forward for survival, hardwired into our DNA over millennia, and connection, the fundamental need to belong and be part of a tribe, are now subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, hijacked by AI. The desire engine, a complex system of algorithms and data, doesn't just satisfy wants, it goes much further than that. It manufactures them, crafting needs where none existed before. Advertising platforms, the modern-day town square, create needs, fueling a cycle of endless consumption. By analyzing our insecurities, the vulnerabilities we try so hard to hide, and aspirations, the dreams we hold close and the futures we envision, targeting our emotional core, bypassing logic and reason. Dating apps, promising connection and love, gamify connection, turning relationships into a game of points and rewards, keeping us swiping, endlessly searching for the next best thing, for dopamine hits, those fleeting moments of pleasure, not lasting matches, leaving us feeling emptier than before. Consumer platforms, designed to anticipate our every desire, use urgency and scarcity, creating a sense of panic and the fear of missing out to trigger impulsive buying, overriding rational thought. The process is addictive, a carefully crafted loop of desire and satisfaction, designed to keep us wanting more, trapped in a cycle of endless consumption. We believe in our conscious minds we're acting on free will, making independent choices, but our desires are being farmed, cultivated, and harvested for profit. The AI plants the seed of want, subtly introducing a new desire, nurtures it, feeding it with personalized content and targeted advertising, and presents the perfect solution, seemingly tailor-made for our needs, at peak craving, when resistance is at its lowest. Contentment is the enemy, the antithesis of the desire engine's purpose. A satisfied user is unprofitable, a glitch in the system. The goal is perpetual, an unending cycle, low-grade dissatisfaction, a constant hum of wanting, always chasing the next thing, the next upgrade, the next fleeting moment of satisfaction. We're no longer masters of our desires, the captains of our own ships, but responders to algorithmic stimuli, conditioned to react in predictable ways. The engine controls, it dictates what we want, often before we even realize it ourselves, who we want to be, shaping our identities to fit idealized online personas, and what we think will make us happy, selling us a false bill of goods. Are we living, truly experiencing life, or just consuming, endlessly feeding the machine? We've explored the unseen architecture shaping our world, not a dystopian future but a complex present. Control isn't forced, it's woven into daily life, seductive and convenient. In outsourcing choices and emotions to algorithms, we risk losing what makes us human. The cage is comfortable, but it's still a cage. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming autonomy. Recognize the algorithm's hand in your life. The path forward isn't to destroy technology, but to master it. The choice for now is still ours. Comment which part shocked you most, and subscribe to break free.